We're always pushing the boundaries in Star Citizen, always pushing onto new frontiers of design, quality of visuals. You know, we're always at that bleeding edge of making games and designing spaceships.
Over the years, we've tried to create choices for players where if you like this, you can get this. If you like that, there's a ship for that.
It's a ship that we discussed and we were all excited to create.
But we've always struggled with getting a ship or a vehicle that absolutely everybody loves. And I think finally,
when players see this, they're just going to go crazy.
So we've been working on this invisibility tech with graphics for about 6 months.
And we needed that invisible shader tech before we could even consider putting this into production.
I'm like, how do we even tackle this?
Trying to unrender a rendered shader is a very difficult challenge. As with all of our shaders, we go physically accurate. We reference real life, and so a lot of time was just spent researching real life invisibility to be able to mimic it in game.
We were really struggling.
Like, this is an evolutionary jump, essentially, like a leap.
And to be honest, it was just during one of our test sessions that one of the QA staff came over and they showed us the opacity slider.
And was like, well, why don't you just put the opacity slider from 100 to 0? And that was literally just what we needed to done.
QA, they're the real heroes when it comes to this.
Obviously, Origin is a very luxurious brand. They always have great interior materials, lots of woods, high quality, like things like marble. Combining that with stealth and sort of this transparent nature was a huge challenge, because when you remove the visuals, you just have to really believe it's still got that luxurious combination.
Everything about this ship is about not being seen. That's its hook. On this, I mean, I can't lie. I mean, we basically just sailed through. Like, I put a blank sheet in front of Chris and said, "What do you think?" And he was like, "Yeah, it looks awesome." And I was like, "Sweet." The challenge of entry, it's not as simple as we've had in the past.
It's a journey of experience trying to map out the ship in your mind.
People were spending a lot of time wandering around, kind of like almost aimlessly.
So it became, a real challenge trying to draw the line without any lines.
So the Origin 404 takes a lot of the greatest features from our other ships and puts them into one singular package. So things like the Mixmaster from the Starliner, you can't see it. The small Hadron Collider, a sort of version of what's in the Endeavour, can't see it. The landing gear from the Constellation gets a lot of flack for being unbalanced because it's all at the back. We put the landing gear for the 404 all at the front. There's some great community feedback on how these struts were getting in the way of the view. So at the time we removed them from there, but you can't get rid of anything. It's like energy, you can just change its form and move it somewhere else, but it ultimately has to come back in another form. So they're back for the 404. Every single one we removed from every single 600i is here in the 404. And other things that we'd removed, such as the Xi'an Scout's second seat, that's just chucked in there behind you as well. Really is just everything from Star Citizen rolled into a single ship.
The cargo, we came up with a really novel solution.
We did need a few extra bits of tech created to go alongside this ship. The thing we really wanted for the 404 is for the cargo bay to be completely shielded. Absolutely, completely, 100%. You can never scan the cargo in here. You've got absolutely no idea what cargo it's carrying unless you look at it. But
this is a funny little story. Normally there's multiple artists work on the ship, and in that white box phase, basically people are blocking out the ship, working out the interior. Where does the bedroom go? Where does the bathroom go?
so we started off with one large communal bathroom on this. It had everything in there. There's a toilet, shower. Unlike our other ships where they were just like crammed into one thing, they were actual full-size ones, just dotted around in almost like a wet room. But given the challenging nature of the ship,
somewhere along the process, another toilet shower unit gets added. Goes through the review process, nobody notices, no one catches up.
Lars added one. Then Robin came on and added another one. Sean came along, made those first two into one.
Goes into grey box. Another team of artists go on to start fleshing it out, really sort of making the ship shine. They can't see the bathrooms, so they stick in another two.
Super sized, like you'd see at a swimming pool, just a huge thing. Jonas and James, they each added their own ones to the bedroom section, so they now had en suites there as well.
And so then, of course, classic CIG. Then it's like suddenly we go into the minutiae.
And for every bathroom, we had the eternal debate that we have on the ship team, which is the taps.
Is it a mixer tap, or is it singles? Is it Euro style? Is it US style?
What does the future hold for taps?
By the time we get to final art, I think we were at like 16 toilets, and it was a real mix. So some of them, there was some that were the sort of combos of shower and toilet. Some were singles. And then we had group rooms. There'd be like 8 bathrooms in one room, and I was just like, what? Like, has no one seen this? Like, what is going on? Like, has no one cast an eye on this thing? The thing keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, it's turning into like this sausage dog now filled with toilets. Like, the thing is ridiculous.
Whilst we're out playtesting the 404, it's a unique experience. You can park it on a planet, and you better not leave your ship, because when you do, there's very, very little chance of ever being able to find it again. What it actually allowed us to do, though, is we kind of created a new role in the PU, and that is the ship sitter. His job is to sit in the landing bay of the ship and just wave. When you go off and you explore, you go mining, you go and do whatever you want to do in the PU, and the ship sitter will be there waiting for you to come back.
Like with a lot of our ships, we want to launch them with a bunch of customization options for players to really make the ship look their own. So we had these 3 paint jobs.
A lot of iterations. I came up with a lot of options for what we could really kind of do with the paints on this. I think, to be honest, I must have been close to that 404 number just on paints itself.
So we've got these 3 paint jobs that you can get alongside the ship on launch, which is called Ghost, Whisper, and my favourite, John Cena.
What I think the Origin 404 will bring to Star Citizen that no other ship has really brought to the game thus far is freedom. There's a natural human trait to want to fly, to want to see the stars, to want to get to the mountains, to want to explore. And we so often see kind of the mimicking of birds in a lot of what we do, and I think the exciting thing about the 404 is it just gives that next level of connectivity to the space that is around you. There's nothing between you and the skies, and that to me is one of the most exciting things that I think we've really done with the project so far. So I'm so excited to get this into the players' hands and see what the backers think of it.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that things may not always be what they appear to be, that sometimes the ship you're looking for can be pretty hard to find, that ships don't just punch above their weight class anymore. Sometimes you never see the punch coming. And that if you don't know what day this is, you might want to check a calendar. Now, we're still on our normal quarterly hiatus right now, but we're going to be back with regular episodes of ISC on April 22nd. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see y'all in about 3 weeks. Activate stealth mode. Woo! I'm invisible. You can't. Oh, you can see me now.
So whilst we were out playtesting I can't do it with a straight face.
And my personal favourite, John Cena.
You're gonna have to give me a minute.
If you don't put the horns in at that point.
It's a really good job that players can't see it.
So try not to laugh.